You see, in life, you have to challenge yourself. You have to challenge to be the better version of you. Right. You don't compete with the world, you compete with you, because you can always do better.
Our lecturer for the day is Elizabeth. She's the CEO of the Hustler Fund.
Your life is defined by many things, but money also plays a significant role. Today, on average, a Kenyan who has started to borrow on mobile app, they have 3 to 5 loans at any one time. And is borrowing bad? No. The reason for borrowing is the problem. When you look at the Hustler Fund, the noble cause is to create dignity. That is really the heart of the Hustler Fund. If there was a way to delink the fund from politics so that people see it as a Kenyan fund as opposed to a Kenya Kwanza fund, that would be very important, so that someone feels I'm part of this success. So I think just celebrating the wins is important as opposed to looking at the cup half empty. Let's just look at the cup half full.
What are the rules that you live by and you think are a must?
You must always be looking for another source of income. Invest in that which you understand. Make sure that you balance your risks. It's very important. If someone tells you, I'm going to invest and get you X return, ask yourself, what are they getting on the other end?
Do you believe that we can build wealth legally? Classmates, CEOs, Mkofiti, thank you so much for engaging with us on all our socials. We don't take it for granted, for your comments, for your engagement. We really and truly appreciate it. Back again with another lecture, and I'm excited for our lecturer for the day. Today we are going to be learning, but more importantly, ni kama tunatoka hapa tumeomoka. Tunatoka hapa na pesa. Yes. Our lecturer for the day is Elizabeth, or she prefers being called Liz. The second name nitaachaki ajiseme. Nimejaribu mara kama tatu hivi, and I don't want to butcher the name. We're still filming at Longonot Place. Come check them out. Book your staycation with them. Place moja amazing. Go to www.phillytv.com. Also watch our latest film Makosa Ni Yangu. Kama uja watch, wacha tusiseme. Liz, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
You're well?
Kabisa.
Yeah. You have such a deep and amazing voice.
Maybe I'm supposed to be on radio.
You're supposed to be. You should be. You should be on radio. How do we say your second name?
Nkukuu.
The Murima side in me naona nikane inaweza kutukana. So But thank you so much for coming through. Thank you for even being here. I must say you're one very brave lady. I say this because if there's one thing I've tried is getting government officials on this podcast, or anyone who works in government, simply because I believe for you to do business in Kenya and in Africa, at some point your business and government must cross paths, whether it's KRA, whether it's licensing. Anytime you're formalizing your business, then definitely government has to be there. And so I don't shy away from having conversations with people from the other side, the government. Yes. And so I think you're very brave.
You have to share information. That is what we are called to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much again for coming. And also coming here knowing fully well that your government of the day, the PR, aki mnanyoroshwa every day, mnasalimiwa every day, and that you're brave enough to just sit there and tell me, you know what, Phil, I'm going to give you the right information from what is out there.
We have a noble cause.
Okay.
That we must share the right information. Okay. Because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
We are called to make lives better.
Okay.
And how do you do that without communicating? You can't. Yeah.
All right. Elizabeth, or Liz, is the current CEO of the Financial Inclusion Fund. I even had to look that up. Sisi wa Kenya tunaijua kama Hustler Fund. Yes, she's the CEO of the Hustler Fund. So nikiwaambia tunatoka hapa tumeomoka, umenikujia na fund iko pale, tunaweza pesa mkononi. Very fast. Love it. Amazing. And that's why I think she's super brave, because it's one government project that really came with a lot of scrutiny and backlash. And so I'm just here to ask the right questions and to ask the questions that all of you at home have been wondering, and to know genuinely, does the government have us somewhere in their hearts? Yeah. But before we get to the Hustler Fund conversation, let's get to know you. Let's get to understand who Liz is, your earliest memory of home. What setup did you grow up in? Where did you grow up? What part of Kenya did you grow up? What was your schooling like? And conversations around money at home, how were they like?
I was brought up in a place in Narok.
Okay.
A place called Melili.
All right.
There, going to school was, yes, not a privilege. Yes, you started school, but finishing to high school, to college, was different.
Right.
It was something different. So I can actually say I could have been among the top 5 people who ever went to campus. And
Wow.
that has changed a lot, quite a bit. And we believe that I think that is a good trend. So my mother was that one person who was no nonsense. She knew that, yes, she went to school up to class 7, but she was sure that her kids have to go to study to where they needed to go. And I'm a strong believer of God creating destinies for people.
Okay.
I remember when I finished high school, and I didn't know what I was supposed to do. At that particular point, you know, the way people say, I want to be a doctor. I knew I didn't want to be a doctor. I can't stand blood. So the other alternative was to be an engineer. But really, what do engineers do? I've never seen an engineer in my life. So, but that was the closest that I thought would be. As fate would have it, I didn't get... I don't know whether I didn't get to go to engineering because of not wanting. But when I finished high school, I went to Statmo. How did I get into Statmo? My mom is always curious and tries to make sure that she's getting the best and asking questions. So she met this gentleman who used to, we were in the same primary school, who was in Statmo. And when she asked him, where are you? Then Statmo came up, and then, what do you guys study? And then she was like, do you think you can do this? I was like, why not? And what is this anyway? So I was brought to Statmo to do an interview. I still remember when being asked, are you going to do ACC or CP? I was like, what is that? I just like both. I didn't know what it was. But I ended up doing CPA. Then I realized my mom was struggling to pay school fees in Statmo. So I did level 1, level 2. Level 2, I combined because I was like, okay, I need to save money. How do you start saving money? And then that is how I ended up finishing CPA. Okay. Yeah. So it's been, it was an interesting journey of letting things flow and allowing the universe to direct you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How many siblings did you have growing up?
We are 4.
Okay.
We are 4. I'm the second born.
Right.
Well, we have 1 brother and we are 3 girls.
Right.
Yes.
So thank God you were good in school, because you had no idea what you wanted to do, but you just ended up doing finance and accounting. So you were good with math. And
yes, I was good with maths.
yeah.
I knew I would make my mother proud, and that was my motto.
Okay.
And every single time I knew that is what was, and I knew business was not too far from me, because again, you remember when you are the village shopkeeper, you are a big deal. So my mom was a big deal because of that.
Okay.
So she let me at a very early age become a sister in the shop. So I knew I would be somehow counting money.
Right.
I didn't know in what form. I didn't know about banking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's awesome. Then you went ahead and did actuarial science. Was this immediately after the CPAs?
It's interesting you ask that. So what happened after now? We went to Statmo. We were allowed to change our courses. You remember when you do job and you come and change courses based on the results you had. So we were seated in Statmo, and all of us were asking, which course are you changing to? So some, I'm going to BCom, some So there was this particular guy called Mwangi. He was my desk mate. So he's like, the mom said actuarial science is a good course because it has a lot of money. So it's like, what is actuarial science? I'm like, I don't know, but it has money. So that's how I ended up selecting actuarial science, because I wanted money. yeah.
But I love how you've gone through life. I mean, those are life-changing decisions.
Yeah.
And you're making them off the cuff. Go to vibes to let me. Actuarial science. They got up a sum of. Okay, let me jump there.
Actually, the most interesting thing is, so I didn't even know how to write it. So you're like, oh, how is it written? Okay, sawa. Then on graduation day, mom comes like, you graduated with what? Okay, iyo kitu ni sawa. So yeah, it has been an interesting journey. But by the time I was finalizing, I was sure I don't want to be an actuary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. But you still went ahead and...
I finished. Yeah.
Right.
You must finish what you start, unless you have a really good reason not to.
Right.
But immediately after that, I was lucky. I got into investments.
Okay.
And I think I've not regretted. So had to do professional papers in investment. Right. I think the highest or the most respected accreditation in finance in investment is being a CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst. Sure. Now I'm proud to say I was among the top 50 at least in Kenya. Wow. So yes, not very high, but yes.
No, still. Chartered Financial Analyst.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time I'm coming across that term. Wow. Okay.
There are a couple. There is Moria from Centum, who's among the first top three. My former boss, Fahima, doing the first class, and another gentleman called Steve. There were 3 who graduated at the same time. Oh, wow. Great people.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're currently pursuing a PhD in business administration, finance. So there's no pausing, there's no stopping. You're not slowing down in a minute now.
There is, you see, in life you have to challenge yourself. You have to challenge to be the better version of you. I believe in not settling.
Right.
And I really push it even for, I'm a mother of 3 daughters. They don't settle. They're just like, Mom, it's too much. Now give us a break. But I'm like, no, you have to continue being best and continue making it better for you. Right. You don't compete with the world, you compete with you. Right. Because you can always do better. Unfortunately, I think for the PhD, it has taken a little bit longer than I thought. I started it in honor of my late son. And that is why it was like a distraction. How do I grow? What do I give back because of him? Right. Yeah, but it's going. We shall finish soon.
We shall finish.
Yes.
And I love how passionate you are about investments, and just why are you on such a huge mission to change lives? You've written 2 books so far on investment, and why is that a life mission for you, and why is it so important to you?
When you think about life, money plays a significant role. We can't be here, Phil, if you didn't have money to buy this equipment, Do
I still have money? Wow.
Or even, you know, those little things that your life is defined by many things, but money also plays a significant role in how things pan out. So I have made great mistakes in money. Being a financial analyst, but yes, made significant mistakes. One of them is trusting people with money. Please, that is a story that I'll give for another day.
No. We have to expound. You are a chartered financial analyst. How can you make investment mistakes?
So we don't have time to leave all the mistakes that other people have done. And having been blessed enough to go through school, to work in some of the biggest brands, I can be able to bring down money matters. So my mission is really to make money simple. That is what I want to live, to be known for. That is the legacy I want to leave. When people think about simple things like, do I borrow to do this? How do you help them make that decision? Not because I will tell you this is right or this is wrong, but how do you create a formula to it so that this path I'm taking, it is definitely going to lead me somewhere that is not going to be so great. Wow. So it is really those little things that, how do you make that difference? I don't have money to give. But if you can share information that someone can use to make decisions, then you have changed their life.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's It's amazing. I think this was your first book, Thrive,
Yes.
Anchoring Your Financial Freedom. Financial freedom journey might have no definite destination, but the options that one gets while walking the journey are worth the grind. Right. So that, I think that's what you've just mentioned right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Thriving. Tell us about this book. How long ago did you write this book? At this point, what was going on in your life?
So in 2020, during COVID, I was a mother of 5 months old twins.
Wow.
And that when you go through parenting, sorry, I was actually pregnant for 2 years, 2 consecutive years. When you go through the pregnancy for 2 years in a row, you at times you feel like you stop living. There is just a set way of the way life is. So then COVID happens. I was looking for meaning. And I asked myself, what is it that I can do to break from this cries? You know, postpartum, I think at times it's real. So I was just looking at how do I break from please nyamaza and things like that. So I started holding webinars every Wednesday. I had just learned about Zoom.
Okay.
So I used to do free webinars every Wednesday. And just really tell people, you're going through these financial difficulties. Could you have done it differently? Could you have prepared differently? So I did that for a couple of months, and then I came to Nairobi and met my current. He's a guy that I really respect. His name is James Karundu. When I met him, I was actually going to Embu. I used to lecture at Embu. So an email just comes in and says, harnessing your brilliance. How can you use what you're doing today to actually make money? So I booked an appointment with him. I joined his class. And then when we were going through that, he was like, but you can convert this into a sellable course. All these things that you're doing for free, you went to school, why can't you make money? Yes, still do free, but also make money while doing it. So we came up with what we call Prosperity Masterclass.
Okay.
Where we teach people different things about money. And that is what culminated into that book. This is really a summary of how do you increase your earnings? How do you invest? What are the various investment options and things that you look at? Then also, how will you leave the world? So your estate planning, do you want people to fight when you're dead? Things about retirement planning. When you retire, remember you'll still have 24 hours a day. And most probably your sleep will be less.
Yeah.
So you'll have more working hours. So what will you be doing? So all those things we cover in that book. So what was really going on through that time is, how do I help someone prepare for eventualities? Because they will come. It's not an issue of if, it is when.
When.
Yeah.
Wow. So on a high level, because we want people to buy the book for sure, what are some of the steps I should consider? 20, 21, 22, I've just graduated from college, campus. I'm starting to earn. And we need to be thinking about retirement at 2021.
Yes.
What are some of the simple steps I need to think about? And then where can I invest?
Okay. When you're starting, and I'm taking someone who is not from a significantly privileged background, which is most of us.
Yeah.
When you're starting out, the best investment is in self. So at that particular point, you need to make sure that I want to get into this particular line of, this is my career line. So do you have the right papers? So at that particular point, even if you're investing in, let's say, your fixed income investments, you're investing in other things, you'll be told to do real estate and stuff. But the biggest question is, are you investing in the most important asset, which is you and your brain? And the reason I'd like to dwell some little bit of time on that, remember, you have to be in the room when decisions are being made.
Yeah.
What will put you in that room? So once you already work on what will put you in that room, I'll just use myself as an example. I think no matter what life throws at me, one thing that is never debatable is she a qualified investment professional. It is not debatable.
Right.
So whether So some of those things I look at and I'm like, you must do that. You must make it to a point whereby you're the best journalist that anyone can speak about.
Yeah.
That is important. Once you've done that, now start remembering that as you get money, you remember when we learned about simple interest, compound interest,
Yes.
and we passed exams, it was never for changing life at that particular point. I wish we were told that this compound interest can actually compound where you end.
We need to discuss about our syllabus, our education system. Money should be there.
Money
from
should
primary
be there.
school.
Yes.
Yeah.
So start investing little amount. Put that money in. And I know you had discussed about money market fund. Yes, it gives you the discipline. Put it in the circle. It gives you the discipline. At that particular point, you're even not thinking about significant investment where you end up at. You are working on the mind. So that is very important. Then the other thing is, people talk about budgets. We are very different. I'm not how do I say? I'm not that person who budgets to the latter. No, I'm a bucket. I budget in buckets. Like, this is the amount of money that I need for this. So I will not follow it to the end. But people are different. So, but when you're investing or when you're starting out, always put aside some money for different things. It helps you in terms of peace of mind. But as you're budgeting, make sure that at least whatever investment portion goes up front. Reason being, if it hits your account, for sure, we shall come and we'll have either a nice plot or someone will have gotten sick and we shall give that money away. So those are some of the things I will tell someone. Then please do not invest in something that you don't understand. I'll give you an example of my investment that I did. I invested in quails. I did quails.
But okay.
Yeah, because people are making money, right? So, it's a no-brainer, but I don't even know where the birds went. I really don't know.
What do you mean?
Nilikuja tu nikakuta ziko, and I was like, okay, thank God I didn't have to dispose them even. So I kept saying, please do your homework. Please do your homework.
I love that you're being this candid with us, because I have found that money, we don't treat money, we don't work with money from a logical point of view. It's very emotional. It's very psychological. Yeah, so like you're a trained investment expert, but you saw quails and you jumped on it. Even for someone trained like you. And I think for me, it shows me that we are human at the end of the day. And I love what you said before, that for you don't budget to the latter, because I think I've struggled with that myself. So just like you, just bulk, okay, I need this for rent, this for this for this, this for the savings, bus. Then after that, I probably spend the money badly. But I've given myself the opportunity to spend.
You extend yourself grace because you're human.
Yeah. Wow, man.
And you live. You don't live once, but you live.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
MMF, SACCO, government bonds, real estate, equities, hapo tunamaanisha the shares and all. Kabisa. Hakuna kitu ingine ya kuinvest in this country. These are the same options I'm given all the time. And if people are honest with me, they tell me, kwa hizo zote, real estate, if you know what you're doing, and government bonds, if you're not into big risks.
Yes.
Zaidi hapo hata wachana nazo. Is this the reality? Are there no other ways of investing?
I think there are other ways of investing. There are people who have made money in cryptos, but Elizabeth will not invest in crypto because she does not understand how crypto people make money. Kabisa. So there are three, when you're coming up with the investing, you have to ask yourself three questions. What is the risk that I'm willing to take? And for this risk, what return am I getting? And how am I going to get that money back to my pocket? So liquidity, those are the three things you must ask yourself. Risk, return, liquidity. If someone tells you, I'm going to invest and get you X return, ask yourself what are they getting on the other end?
Yeah.
So because they won't give money that they are not making.
That's true.
So you need to understand the underlying. So even as we think about other investment options, remember those are the fundamentals. The world is such that it's a very simple place. The reason why you'll end up at collective investment schemes, government securities and equities is because you're investing in the capital markets, right? Capital comes in three main ways. It's either equities, so money that I'm taking a risk on the business, or I'm lending to this particular business, so I'm making an interest, or something in between.
Right.
So all the investments will run around that place. So they could take different shapes, forms, and whatever, but that is the fundamental. So remember, investment is really a fundamental driven. If not those three, what else do you do? So there will just be variations of those, because I have to make money to give you money.
Right.
Yes.
Wow. So this passion of yours and the need to educate and impact people and teach people on wealth creation and saving culture took you to the highest office of probably the highest financial institution, let me call it that, in the country, the Hustler Fund. First of all, how do you even get a call about being the CEO of the Hustler Fund?
I don't know whether you believe in being the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And I think when more I've been at the Hustler Fund, it has brought me closer to spirituality as well, because I asked myself, how did I get here?
Okay.
Why me? You get those questions. So first of all, you have to think about that God has a purpose for you and takes you to a place for a reason. So that is what I say the Hustler Fund is. I had never slept and thought about such a position.
Right.
But I got to do to be in the position. What have I seen so far? A lot of learning. When you come from having worked or started my career in the private sector, it's very different. In private sector, that is investment banking it's very different when you come to government. So I've learned a lot. I've learned patience. I have learned yes, I have learned. Yeah. So I really look at it in terms of, that is another PhD that I should just add. Yes, yeah, it's been good. Then the call to, when you look at the Hustler Fund, the noble cause is to create dignity.
Okay.
That is really the heart of the Hustler Fund. I'm a Mamafua. Let me give a Mamafua as an example. I woke up today. I went to look for a kibarua. Unfortunately, that day, I didn't get. So I need to get back home. Getting back home, I look at my 3 little ladies. They need flour.
Yeah.
And they need vegetables. 2 things happen. Naturally, what happens is, go to Mama Wamboi kiosk, akupatie, mwambie unga, akupatie, tutapika, tutarudisha kesho.
Yes.
So what Hustler Fund is supposed to do is to create dignity. I have gone, I didn't get a job, but I can go with my phone and get 500 shillings inifiche aibu. That day, I will be able to buy unga, little scurry, and my kids are happy.
Right.
So that gives you dignity, because you don't have to broadcast your problem. So that is what the Hustler Fund is to do. Then further to that is to say, I have these people with really, really good ideas. Yeah. They might not go to the bank and get credit. How do I help them grow their credit score such that someone says, okay, they could not have money today. They were not lucky to have a father who could give them capital. The government says, you are my son.
Right.
I'm going to help you get that capital. So I will lend to you, you pay. I lend again, you pay. The more you do that, I am able to increase your limit. And then even further, I want to make sure that your kids will not go through what you're going through. I will help you save. So every 100 shillings you borrow from me, I'll keep five shillings. That is your savings. So you are creating a base for the future generation. Okay. So that is what the Hustler Fund is to do. What has then happened politics has made that people thought that they should not pay. But I can tell you, there are people today who are borrowing 150,000 from the Hustler Fund. Not one person, not Elizabeth. No,
Yeah.
really good Kenyans who are running real businesses and are borrowing and repaying. The maximum that we have lent is 150,000. And if that is not enough, what the Hustler Fund was supposed to do is, I have helped you. I have lent 150, but I have many kids.
Yeah.
You have grown. You unaweza jitetea. But instead of dumping you, they have worked with the World Bank so that you are able to even get still more funding from now banks, but the money is coming from the World Bank. So you graduate from
The
Hustler Fund 1 to Hustler Fund 2, which is bridge product, from bridge to the bank. And then at concessional rates. And then after that, you actually now are happy to go fight it out with everybody else.
Okay.
So if you look at that story, for Kenyans who understand it and who have used it, they have a story to tell.
Having conversation, I think I told you this before we even stepped on camera. I told you, forgive me, but in this country, if you work for government, just know you're starting this conversation from negative. we have a lot of skepticism and we just don't trust the government. And if you ask me, because what you've just explained is brilliant and powerful. And in our current regime and government, we've seen very many new ideas. And on paper, they are brilliant. Do they work? Probably not, majority of them. And if they work, zina work kidogo. And for me as a business person, if there's one thing I've learned is there's just the very first product that hits the market will have a lot of issues. It's very natural. And then from there you can go and build it up. And I'll just say this candidly to you, I feel like the current government during the last election did not understand the brief from Kenyans. From my point of view, the Kenyans were, yes, we wanted all these ideas, but the main thing that Kenyans wanted was, we want to trust the government again, because since independence, we've never been truly able to trust the government. And I feel like that is the one thing the government didn't work on. And so they came in with all these new ideas. And I feel that's why even the Hustler Fund was met with a lot of skepticism and a lot of backlash. Because what you're saying is in actual facts, very true. Huo mse wa kibarua, kuna siku hajapata hiyo kibarua. But kama anaweza pata hiyo 500 na anunulia watoto chakula, that is brilliant. And then if they keep graduating and going up to 100, and that is amazing. I just feel bad that sometimes politics in this country just overshadows some very good ideas and concepts. Can it be made better? Definitely. Yeah. So let me just ask the questions that make us not trust you. Number one, what is the interest charged on the Hustler Fund?
Imagine only 8% per annum.
8% per annum.
And if you pay within the day, it is 0. So if you borrow in the morning and pay by midnight, you are not charged anything.
Bro.
Compare that.
8% per annum.
Per annum.
No. Let me tell you, a lot of the lending apps, because saizi hatutaki kutaja, they'll tell you something like 1% per day.
Per day.
So at the end of the month, you're paying like 30%.
Yes.
So when you say 8% per annum, per year.
Yeah. Because you see, what the government is doing is subsidizing for decency. They're saying you should not be punished because you're Kenyan and you're poor, which is fair.
Right.
You could not maybe afford to pay tax today, but if we grow you, you're part of this. So they are saying, let's help Phil become a better Kenyan. Yeah, that's why it's 8%. And actually that one is by law. Our legislation provides. It's not like the board can sit and change it. No, it is by law, 8%. Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did the initial money for the Hustler Fund come from? All of a sudden there are billions to borrow from Hii pesa ilitoka wapi?
We allocated funds from the exchequer, from the National Treasury gave us the money to lend. Yes.
So it came from
Exchequer. So just the same way they will allocate money for roads, for education, that's the same way they do for us.
And this is traceable. If we go online, we can trace
Kabisa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not from a private investor somewhere.
No. 100% from Treasury.
Okay.
Yes.
And you continue being funded by Treasury.
Yes. As at now, everything is coming through Treasury. That comes to the fund.
Right.
Once we graduate people, that's when now we graduate them to the bank. So that what the government has done is negotiated a concessionary money with the World Bank, so that these people still get slightly lower than market,
Right.
so that they can you just don't take someone and throw them to the deep end. Yeah, so that you're babying them still.
Right.
Yeah.
Having run it for how many years now? 2 years. What do you think you will have done differently at the onset that will have saved you a lot of trouble? And I'm also thinking Kenyans, the way we think. I mean, this money is coming from the Treasury, so it's our money. So I might as well not pay. What will you have done different if you were to do it all over again?
I think if there was a way to delink the fund from politics, so that people see it as a Kenyan fund as opposed to a Kenya Kwanza fund, that would be very important. So that someone feels I'm part of this success. And then we would have educated better. I would have said, we would have maybe spent more time saying, this is a loan. It is payable. And the fact that it is payable, it is to help you even increase it. It is you to decide how far you want to go. So the person who started at 3,000 and they're at 150,000, I think would have had more of those people. So what would I have really done differently as the fund was doing public participation and all those legislation, the communication would have been better.
Okay.
So I don't know, it's not per se PR, it's really telling people this is what it is. I think that we could do better even now. Yeah.
Okay.
So that someone just sees there is really a real person who has benefited from this fund and they have changed their lives. I remember there's a time we went to Mombasa. You remember the guy that the president gave a tuk-tuk?
Yes.
You remember that story?
Yeah.
Personally, I went and saw the guy. And from driving someone else's tuk-tuk to the president being gracious enough to give him a tuk-tuk because he was actually among the top. He was not the top. He wasn't the highest. Again, I say opportunity and luck. He got the tuk-tuk. And I think now he's on his second or so. So, and this is someone who was driving someone else's tuk-tuk. So when you speak to such a person and tell him that Hustler Fund does not work, you'll wonder what you are talking about.
Yeah.
So I wish we could have told most of those stories. Then you'd see more people, being more receptive of the fund. Then the other thing is, and this is not about the fund, it's something different.
Okay.
We all think that people should run businesses. It's not true.
Oh, okay.
Not everybody should run a business.
I agree with you.
So when you were running and when you communicated and positioned the fund that this is money to run businesses, maybe we should position it different. It's okay if you're not the business type. It is okay to be employed. Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Yeah. So that for me is one of the mindset. We need to change our minds and say it is okay. I can become an entrepreneur. I come here and become so good, but I don't have to run my business. I don't want to think about funding.
Yeah.
Let me come work under you, Phil, and I'll do the best and I will deliver.
Okay.
But I don't have to register Liz Consulting or something. Yeah, it is okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Right now, how much has the Hustler Fund given out in loans to date, if you have that figure? Yeah.
So I want to put it in two ways. So in terms of disbursement, this is money when you come borrow, you repay, you borrow again, I'll count that as disbursement. Okay. So I'll look at that as a cumulative amount. That is 71B. So the amount of money that has transacted within the platforms of Hustler Fund. Yeah. How much have we received from Exchequer? 15 billion.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite
Yeah.
a difference there.
Yeah.
What habits have you learned over the 2 years about Kenyans and money and our borrowing culture?
Now, I was looking at, I'm doing a training with Diamond Trusts on financial wellness.
Yeah.
And during that process, I was looking at data on debt. Today, on average, a Kenyan who has started to borrow on mobile app, they have 3 to 5 loans at any one time.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
That is very true, right?
Oof,
If you
yes.
look at the amount of money that we have from the banks, I think it's 1.2 trillion or something.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is Kenyans, we borrow.
A lot.
And is borrowing bad? No. The reason for borrowing is a problem.
Okay.
If I'm borrowing to piga sherehe, then there's a problem. So what we need to do is look at, when I'm borrowing, what are the steps I go through?
Yeah.
Do I need this money? Let's sleep over it.
Okay.
Wait for 24 hours. The same thing as consumption. If you feel like you need that jacket very badly, please sleep over it. Tomorrow, if you still like it, please go for it.
Right.
But most probably once you sleep over things, you realize it's never that serious.
That is true.
Yeah.
is
So we need to look at that. When it comes to debt, there are 2 schools of thought. One is based on maybe Robert Kiyosaki, where they use other people's money to make money, which I had been a proponent of for a very long time.
Okay.
There is also, is it Ramsey? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Him is like, please grow your capital as much as possible and use it to grow. In the Kenyan economy, where interest rates will come from 9 to 24 in 3 months without you being told or you seeing, I would go to, please build your capital.
Okay.
This country is difficult when it comes to unpredictability of interest rates. And that can throw you off and can really, really put you off. So yes, if you must, please do. If you're joining a SACCO, my recommendation is join a SACCO because you want to take a loan as much as possible, because that way at least there's predictability in the cost of money. But in the banking sector, yes, we will continue to borrow in the banking sector, but just know if a COVID happened, you need to rethink your life very fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for being candid. You coming from, this is something I'm very passionate about. I'm on this bender where, number one, as I've been corrected today, as on a previous interview, I quickly pointed out, I'm like, you know what? Leaders shape the culture of people, and if Kenyans are borrowing a lot, it's because our leaders are borrowing a lot. And I was told, Philip, leadership mirrors the society. So who put those leaders there? So if they are borrowing a lot, it's a reflection of what the society is. And it's something I'm currently on about systems. I strongly believe that why some things just don't work for Kenyans because of systems that just don't work. For example, what you just said, the Hustler Fund is a brilliant concept, but for some reason, politics in this country just kind of touches on things it shouldn't even touch.
Yeah.
And it affects us. Now, you come from a background of corporate, then you jump into government, where you've said you've earned another PhD. And I don't know for how long you're planning on being in government or you go back to corporate, but when you say you've learned patience, for me, I understand it that you found a very different system. What's the difference between how government works and how the corporate world works?
Government has systems that have been put together for over a long period of time.
Okay.
And they are that way for a reason. I think coming to understand, Liz will come with her culture. She's I'm always of that person of like, let's execute the sketch. We shall figure it out. I'm always like, starting is the most difficult thing. So can we start? As we move, we shall quickly see what is not working and we fix it. If government was run like that, we would be chaotic. So appreciating that things are the way they are for a reason is important. But also appreciating that we are different and not everybody can fit in every culture. That is also important. So there are people who will come from private sector and thrive in government. There are people who will come and struggle. There are some who will come and get along. So private sector, and I will say where I came from, when we started Saiton, I'm one of the founders of Saiton. The rate of growth was, let me tell you, we used to get to the office at 6 and at 10 you're still working. And you leave interns there. So I remember there's a dad who came as like to come and confirm whether the daughter really works here because mtoto anaendanga wapi kweli. Because they are constantly working. If you took such a culture maybe to a place like government, it would not work. But you see, there is everybody needs to fit in their puzzle and just know this is the season that I need to do this. Would I do that again? Maybe, but I don't have that energy. I'm 10 years older. I can't. So just knowing the seasons and knowing what is expected is important. So, and I want to bring that back to someone starting their career. So it is also very important. At times we don't choose where we start, but we choose who we become. If you go to a culture that is well laid back and it's not you, remember that organization maybe is looking for someone like you. So people come towards success. You will most likely influence the culture by what you are doing. So taking your position and making sure that you're doing the right thing and giving it your 120%, it will be visible. It may not be immediate, but the world is fair. So eventually you get your money worth.
Government. And what you just said about, the systems being there in place because things will be chaotic. And in the world we're living in, this digital revolution happening, I try to find the balance. Like, where is that balance? Because governments cannot continue running like dinosaurs. They're going to be extinct very soon. Things are moving too fast, and government is not as agile as how the world is moving. And so where do you strike the balance? Because markets shift so fast. Cultures might not shift as fast, but there are all these other, and I say this genuinely scared because I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a wave, there's something changing around the world.
Completely.
In our market systems, in how we do business. I mean, President Trump the other day was in the UAE. That has never happened. Like, things are shifting. And I feel like if Kenya, we don't align quickly enough, we will be left behind, and forever we'll always have the sob story of we tunangojea aid. And right now I feel the time that we could actually transform and become a powerhouse in our own right within Africa. So this dinosaur thing, this government has to be slow and
move as well. I see what you're saying, but now I'm looking at the leaders that we also have in some of the parastatals. Very young, very, very pro-change, really pushing. So even within the rigidity, there is room for innovation. I cannot sit here and say the reason maybe Hustler Fund is not performing is because I was not allowed to innovate. No. So there is, in every, there is always formula in everything. So I think it's, if you're put in a position of, in a place of power, it's actually you to decide. I'll give you an example. In December, I went to get passports for my girls. Yes, I'm a government official. I did not speak to anyone. I try as much as possible not to use influence when I'm getting any government service.
Yeah.
I try to go through process because I believe Kenyans all Kenyans should be the same.
Yeah.
I went, applied, and I can tell you, Phil, in 7 days, I got those passports. I did not speak to anyone, and definitely my name is difficult for anyone to remember that this is the CEO of the Hustler Fund. So it is systems work. So when you put the right people in the right positions, things work. You are competitive.
Right.
Yeah, people have to be passionate. You wake up every day, you want to make a difference. The beauty about human beings, we all want to, there's just one really common denominator. We want to be useful.
Right.
And we want to make a difference.
Right.
Irrespective of who we are, that drives us.
Right.
So when we are given the right challenge, imagine we shall deliver.
Liz, I sit next to you, and this is a follow-up to the question on what we were talking about, structure and the rigidity of government and the leaders that we choose and people in government. I sit next to, I have conversations with government officials. This is what ndio patunisumbua. Y'all are very brilliant. Like people who work in government at a high level, very brilliant. Like one-on-one, we have conversations, the ideas, you guys work. I've had the privilege of talking to some and attending some meetings. Some government officials are at the office by 7 a.m. They don't leave till late. So what I always struggle, and that's why I'm really against the system, is because all this brilliance, and then what comes out at the end product. What happens? Please, Niambi, if you can be candid enough and tell me what happens between the brilliance and the final product.
I think there are two things.
Yeah.
First, maybe we don't communicate the expectations. So that we tell the people we serve, this is what we are working towards. Yeah. So that when someone has an expectation or a picture of what success looks like, and what I deliver is not that, then irrespective of what I've delivered, which I think in my view I have delivered, I'm falling short.
Okay.
So that alignment is important.
Right.
So that we say this is what we are up to. So I'll go back to the Hustler Fund. When someone asks me, 500 itafanya nini, it means that I've not communicated what Hustler Fund is for.
Okay.
When you tell me I need 1 million from the Hustler Fund, I can't. So when you rate me on the fact that I have not given you 1 million, I've definitely failed, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you told me I need 1 million, then I told you, oh, you're in manufacturing. Please go to Kenya Industrial Estate. They will give you up to 20 million. If you're a youth below the age of 35, have you visited Youth Fund? They'll give you up to 3.5 million. Yeah? If you're a person with disability, you're a group of people with disability, have you gone to Uwezo Fund? Can they be able to help you? Then we say that, and I'm just giving examples so that people can see there is help, only that we don't know where the help
All
is.
these things work.
They work.
Like all these funds you mentioned.
Yes.
Nikienda huko na sijui mtu huko ndani.
Yes.
I will actually
You'll get funding.
So does our skepticism and our hate for government blind us to such opportunities?
It is not hate for government. It is hate. When you hate someone so much, no matter what they tell you, you will always say that, akisema hii kitu ni white, afadhali ikuwe yellow, so that you don't agree. So we need to step aside and be objective. Life and I think you get to this point when you grow older. I think you get wiser with age. Most of the things that we don't get, we actually don't get because they are hidden in plain sight. We have decided this is what it is, and it is what it is. So that's one. I think our benchmarks and the yards that we are used to be measured are different. So maybe what we could do, and I think that is happening now quite a bit, is communication. How do we communicate? How do we tell people, if you are in this kind of sector, these are, at least follow these people on their Twitter handles. At some point, they will talk about something that will intrigue you.
Right.
Yeah. So instead of constantly being on things that are not educating us, then how do we make sure that that works? So I feel like that is one end. So the other thing is, remember, we also have scarce resources. So the questions of prioritization also comes in. So maybe what we wanted to achieve, maybe we are not achieving because maybe A has to, I'll just give, maybe there's an issue with the healthcare. Do you give healthcare versus giving loans? Just those kind of prioritization. But by and large, remember, there's no one who was born to work in government. We all find ourselves in government. We go to the same schools. So what, even in the private sector, we have the same opportunities. So there is no fact that people in government don't work. No, people in government work, and they work extra hard, I think, like you said. And I think we need to just communicate expectations better, and we need to communicate success even more.
So what are these expectations so are the expectations, are they politicized? Or are they just notions that we have that this is government, I expect so much from them, and so when the expectation is there and you deliver here, I'm like, oh yeah, of course it's government.
I think it's both things that you've said, because also I think as a country, we are not moving away from politics. So we are not objectively saying now, no, this is what is really, this is what we need. We all put a political angle to it. If it's not our people I follow, then there's a problem with that. So I just feel like we just need to be objective. We cannot argue with the fact that today the president handed over houses.
Yeah.
It is visible, whether it is one house, whether it is 1,000, whether it's at least it's a step in the right direction. So I think just celebrating the wins is important, as opposed to looking at the cup half empty.
But
let's just look at the cup half full.
We were expecting 200,000 houses.
And they will come, so...
but we've done 1,000. We were told 200,000 houses in a year.
But last year we didn't have 1,000. What about saying, at least we've started?
Okay.
and I'm not taking it away from government to life. If, I don't know, when you think about someone who is constantly looking at the negative things of life, you even feel drained to be around them, right?
That's true.
So as individuals, I don't want to say as a society, as individuals, what about just cultivating the spirit of saying, imagine it could be worse, and then saying, let me celebrate this and let me give it my best.
I'm scared of saying that because I feel as millennials, that's what we've lived on, and so we've accepted mediocrity. So I feel like we should also just get ourselves to a point where we shall not accept mediocrity. Yes, we appreciate the 1,000 houses, for example, but we've seen what you've collected, and 200,000 houses was actually very possible. So what is that balance where we hold you, because your government, you are the highest body in this country, so forgive us for when we put our expectations over there. Because if there's anyone who can deliver, it's government. If a private institution says they'll deliver 200,000 houses in a year, we're like, hey, who are you? But if government says we can deliver 200,000 houses in a year, your government, you can actually do it. But anyway, we okay. So, wow. Yes, you were mentioning funds that Kenyans can tap into and opportunities. Please continue, because you've just mentioned some things. I'm even noting them. Education anza ku apply. So for my very many entrepreneurs who are listening to the show, what are the other many opportunities that are in government for some reason that we are not aware of?
I think it's in addition to the funding that you can get from government, there is what is called capacity building, and just being able to. I've produced coffee, for example. That's what has come to my mind. How do I package it? How do I market it?
Right.
Who do I speak to? The authority that regulates micro, small, and medium enterprises authorities actually trains you and helps you package, and they help you with market linkages.
What?
Yes.
Inaitwaje your body?
Micro, Small Enterprises Authority. It's called MSEA.
MSEA.
Yes. So they will help you. The key pillars of running a business. Let me just jump into it. They will help you about people. How do you get your people in place?
Yeah.
And so that's one. They'll help you about product packaging, product refinement. I think if you're into manufacturing, something like Kirdi will help you with that. Just being able to, how do you get your product to something that is kept standard?
This, you said?
Kirdi.
Kirdi, Kenya Institute of
Research Development, something like that. Something to that effect. They're in industry, this South Sea or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is on product. On marketing, I think they should come to you. You'll help them in marketing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
so all this help is there. The question is that I don't think we have communicated enough so that people know exactly where to go. But that's why we are here. So you tell someone and then someone is able to, and they're all in all 47 counties. I'll give you an example of MSEA. They actually provide decent working places. They will come give groups. They actually give them in groups. So if they come to, where do you come from?
Mtaani.
Okay. If you go to Mtaani, Dandora or something.
Yes.
They bring actually things like car washing machines, and they put you in groups and just tells you start off. That is their mandate. And they do that. So the thing is, we just need maybe to communicate better so that people know, and they know where to get help. They're in all the 47 counties. So, yeah. So I get, even for me, I really didn't know that. So we just need maybe to do a better conversation about that.
You didn't know all of this before you got into government.
Yes.
So one, there's a marketing and a communication aspect. So there's so many opportunities that we can grow ourselves and develop, but it's just not communicated. Or it is, but we already
skeptical.
We're skeptical. It's
I'll give you an example.
We don't trust them.
As late, I think last week, there was money that is being given by the World Bank that people below the age of 29 were applying. Everybody will get educated on those all matters and then get a 25,000 grant.
$25,000 or Kenya shillings? Kenya shillings, okay. I was excited. Ningeenda ni forge certificate size.
To below 29 years. It means a lot.
Right. Sisi mnatutoa. Sisi watu ambao sio youth. Yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe just to add on to, I think we also need to push ourselves to do more and ask more questions, because all these things are online.
Yeah.
So we just need to know.
That is a problem I've seen with Kenyans. I think it's how we were schooled. The teacher will come with all the information and knowledge and give it to you. We didn't learn how to actually seek knowledge. It will come to us, and because I'm seated here, I'm like, why don't I know all this? And it's that honestly, I cancelled out doing anything with government a long time ago. I was like, government, it's not worth the headache.
It is. There are things that work.
The things that work. All right. Sorry, I'm just asking myself a lot of questions. Have I been blind to solutions that could have helped me, but because of my hate and skepticism of government, I will just never see the opportunities? Or is it true that things don't actually work in government? But if you go to the people kwa ground wenye wamesaidiwa na the hustler fund, they'll tell you otherwise.
They would swear by it. So it's what I think is let's do. you see,
hybrid.
we cannot be helped if you're not helping yourself. And I'm now walking away from government.
Right.
You have to do the work. You have to be ready to be assisted. You have to be ready to go the extra mile and ask the questions. And we have a service charter. If you go to all government offices, we have service charters in terms of questions and queries. Should it take more than 7 days? And if it does, please just escalate it. So things really work. It's just that we say, oh, hawatajibu. And surely, you don't ask, we don't jibu. So the thing is, I'm putting it back to us. Yeah. Remember, as we point one finger, 4 are pointing at us.
That is true.
So let's do the 4 and help ourselves.
Classmates, are you having the kind of dissonance I'm having? I think I've believed for so long that government doesn't work, and the negatives of government have just stopped caring and stopped looking for opportunities in government. Are you just like me, or do you just genuinely believe nothing works in government, and do you have good reasons as to why that does, you believe that? Hii series naona itakuwa na a lot of introspection, because I am genuinely passionate about systems and why we've not milked enough, or why we keep quote unquote electing the wrong leaders. So I've always believed in this system thing, and now I'm like, yeah, maybe I could be the problem as well. So wow, I need to check myself, man. Thank you so much. Hey, umenichanganya. But back to the money. Thank you for I know we took a trajectory there just to discuss government. And I hope more government officials will be open to having these conversations, because there's what we are told and what we believe, and then there's the actual truth. And so maybe we just need to get 2 sides of the story and finally decide which one we want to believe. Yeah. And unfortunately, I feel like politics overshadow everything in this country, and so we never see past and beyond the politics. Man, so sad. Anyway, back to wealth and what you're passionate about. Now you can smile. Now you can breathe. What are the rules that you live by and you think are a must? Doesn't matter what income someone has. There are just some rules you need to live by if you're going to come out of this successful and wealthy.
Great. So, rule number 1, you must always be looking for another source of income.
Moja itoshi.
Ni ngumu.
Sasa time moja already inatunyorosha sasa.
And you see, it could be something as simple as the 10% that you're earning in your money market fund. So it is always good to get to a point whereby you have more than one source of income, so that it gives you options. And if you're employed, it helps you think about that is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So almost like get to a place where money is working for you. Is it easy? No, but it is possible.
Okay.
The other thing is, I'm a strong believer of living life in your terms.
Okay.
All of us are very different. What is important to you might be very, very different from what is important to me. There's someone who must go on holiday every 3 months. For some, they don't care. Being in their house, and that's good enough. So creating your options and not copying when it comes to consumption is important. Just being true to you. That is very important. And by the same time, do not save everything and then you don't live. You get to 6 and like, hi, I need to start living. Where is the energy?
Yeah.
So for those of us who maybe have chosen the path of having families, one thing I keep saying is that the kids are young only once.
That is true.
So, and guess what? They will not remember the apartments that you bought.
No.
They'll remember the memories.
The holidays.
The holidays. They matter.
Yes.
And I say that from a perspective of I have a 17-year-old. She's turning 17 and 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
So whatever time you spend with this is very different from these ones.
course.
So I now start being very intentional with the small ones because I'm like, hiya, they move very fast. So just know that live today as if it's your last day, but at the same time, not extravagantly. You know, always remember there is also tomorrow. So balance life. So that then the other key thing is about which I've learned is invest in that which you understand. Make sure that you balance your risks. It's very important. Then when it comes to debt management, I'll say it in two perspectives. So borrow when you must.
Okay.
But make sure that two things. If you're borrowing for investments, is the return sufficient? At least higher than the return, the cost of capital. But most importantly, is the cash flow sufficient to pay the investment?
Okay.
It is very important because most of us, we don't manage, we don't have a debt issue, you don't have a solvency issue, we have a cash flow management issue. So we need to be very clear about that.
I want to linger on that because the minute you mention some words like cash flow, we immediately think businesses. But this is even on personal finances.
Yes.
So I'm borrowing whatever it is from whatever fund. I first need to check my cash flow.
Yes. How am I going to pay it?
Yeah.
How it's
So this
coming.
thing of I'm opening another app to borrow to repair another app, it means my cash flows are not.
You're just getting one headache to the other headache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So cash flow. And as one day just asked someone, you know, when I was beginning on all this financial literacy, like, bro, how do I know that I am financially okay? And they said, Philip, go and print out your account statements, your monthly, do you call it a ledger? Yeah. How many times is money coming in?
Versus going out.
How many times is money going out? That should answer. So the day you have more
Incomes.
more of money going out than income, kuna problem. But the day you have more money coming in than it's going out, then
You're on the right path.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, okay, that's a very simplified way. And
Of looking
it
at
made
things.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that journey, we'll travel differently. So don't think that you're going to be failing a day. And that is part of the issues we have. We want to see someone is doing X, Y, Z, and we want to be there. We can't.
Yeah.
We have, our journeys are different. I come from a very different background. Maybe you don't have to support your parents. I have to support my parents plus my grandparents, maybe.
That is true.
So you need to understand your path and be okay with it.
And I think the very first one that you mentioned for me is what I have held strong to. I personally am not very good with saving, and what you've just said, the needs are many, especially when you're a business person. Aki, yeah, if you meet an entrepreneur, just hug them because today you have money in the account, but tomorrow you need to do business, and yeah, so the next day you have negative in your account. But the money will pay
At some point.
At some point.
Yeah.
We don't have regular incomes like a salaried person. And so, but multiple sources, wherever you are, whatever stage of life you're in, trying to figure out how you can earn more, how you can create more revenue streams, I think for me is a solid. And yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely love that.
I think one on debt.
Yeah.
Please don't lend money to people.
Walai.
Friendship itaisha, mtakosana.
Okay.
Mtu akikuomba pesa, just give him that one that utampea tu roho safi na friendship iendelee.
Usingoje irudishwe.
Aisirudi. You live better. Your relationships will be better, healthier.
Ama kama sitaki mtu akwe rafiki yangu tu nimpe pesa.
Ukimpe pesa.
Okay. That is also
A good way to say goodbye.
I want to cut you off but nimeshindwa, so acha tu nikupe pesa wenda usinilipe, then after that sitakuongelesha. Okay. Love that. If you were walking down the street, on this street of ours, and you found someone who is a doctor, they walk out of their house or apartment and their office and they get into a Ferrari. will you immediately believe that their hard work has bought them the Ferrari?
It depends. Let me take the doctor as a profession.
Yeah.
In Kenya. If you're below 40 with a Ferrari, kwani we ni nani? But if you're over 40,
with a Ferrari. Okay.
I don't know, maybe over 40, because when I look at the career today, there are people who maybe get it better, easier than others. Others don't. But again, it depends with the profession that you take. I think someone who started a business and was able to exit, I can see. But not easy.
Just from...
it's not easy.
Yeah, but you see, this doctor, first of all, you're a doctor. And it means you have scored A in life from the day you're in primary school, all the way to high school, all the way to university, all the way to your work life. Like, doctors are like the epitome of what society tells us we should be. They are A students through and through. But we still don't believe you can generate wealth with following the law.
You can't.
You can't. So, which leads me, I was leading you on to one of my last questions. Do you believe that we can build wealth legally?
Yeah, very legally.
But I want to drive a Ferrari. And you've just told me you can't be a doctor and drive a Ferrari. So for me to drive a Ferrari, I need to be an outlaw. I need to work outside the law.
No, not outside the law. You can work the system. I'll give you an example. If many people who maybe got into the IT world, maybe the script, they're not many, but you build a business and you're able to exit, and a genuine business, and you're able to exit. Over time, you might get there, but not many. They are really, really outliers. It's less than 1% of the world. So, and that most of the time it's not the A student.
Yeah.
It is people who understand business relationships. Right. And the problem, I know where that question is coming from. Maybe it's because of the tenderpreneurs in this country. Maybe. But I still believe you can do good business. You don't have to drive a Ferrari, but you can live a decent life. Pretty good life. So that's why I'm like, you need to agree and have a meeting with yourself and say, this is exactly what good life is for me. Okay. And this is a give and take.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting from you is, one, do I say low expectations or be realistic? That true wealth, like that extreme wealth, only gets to only about 1% of the world population.
Yes.
So 99% of us hatuta make it to that level. Because all of us, when we sit down, we want that wealth.
Yeah.
I want to be in a private plane. I don't want to go through airports. I want to drive a Ferrari. It's a good car. I love cars. I want to be able to visit a different country every week, if not every month. Everyone dreams of that. But the reality is that that's not going to happen.
Let's even take an example of Elon Musk. He's one of the world's richest people. Can they lead that life that you said? They can, but are they?
No.
Because they love what they do.
Yeah.
So other than focus on what materialistic things, work on things that the world cannot take away from you. Work on this because this is what you like. Get into a job that you really, really love. Okay. And even if you don't get to 1%, and you end up at 5% of the world population, imagine you are doing very well.
Very well.
Yeah. So actually, there was some statistics from Venezuela. About 2,500 people tracked from the age of 25 to 65. From that statistics, it showed that that's where I got the 1%. 1% are really rich.
Yeah.
About 4% are independent. And what does independent means? I want to go on holiday? Yes, I will. I will work today. I don't feel like. I can choose what to do.
Yeah.
That's 4%. 5% work because they just love what they do. 63% tunahangaika.
Tuko survival.
Tuko survival.
Okay.
So you can imagine what that means. So
Sorry,
let's
you
just
said
even try to be uko juu.
1%, 4%, and then the third one, I didn't get
5%.
5% are, you said? The 5% are
independent. No, sorry, they are working. 4% are independent,
Okay.
5% are working. But you know the way you're like, I have 24 hours, I have to make good of it. 63% are still surviving, and then there was death on the balance.
Yeah. This is, wow. This is crazy. We could go on and on and on, and I'd just love to, because this is something I'm passionate about. One, just wealth creation. My whole thing is I want to figure out money for creatives, because this is a world that we've always been looked at as jokers. So I'm big on that. So this is a conversation we can go on and on and on forever. But I want to understand the mission you're currently on your second book. I think this just launched like a month ago.
Yes.
All right. So talk to us about Transcend.
So we have ended up at saying we need more than multiple incomes.
Yeah.
So most of us end up at, I need a side hustle, or I need this to be my main hustle.
Yeah.
Creating successful businesses, do I say it's a science? There are things that you must get right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I have to be right with people. I have to get right with the regulator. I have to be right with processes. I need to understand my problem and what we were talking about. I have to provide a service that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that is a combination of that in that. So I've written about all the things that you need to run a successful business.
Right.
That is what Transcend is. You have to transcend from here to the next level.
But you've just told us, I mean, not everyone can be a business person. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be a business person, but you can be an entrepreneur. If today someone came in here and gave you a solution, and you're like, okay, I have no bandwidth, but please experiment within here.
Yeah.
That is fine. That is what Google does.
Yeah.
80% of your time you spend on your core business. 20%, please experiment and show us what you're experimenting. That's how Google has grown.
Okay.
So I don't have to be an entrepreneur, but I can be an entrepreneur.
Right.
That's one. And remember, even as you grow your career, you're being employed, the same things work. When you talk about people, relationship is the most important thing. How do you deal with people? How do you understand this abrasive entrepreneur who cuts whatever hot and cold?
Yeah.
So it's really about understanding, because everything is really about business.
Right.
So whether you're running the business yourself or whether you are helping someone else run that business.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
You're a book person. 3 top books you'd recommend someone to read, apart from your books, of course.
I think The Alchemist.
The Alchemist, okay.
For money purposes, I think Rich Dad, Poor Dad helps with. And then if you're running a business, Winning by Jack Welch.
Winning by Jack Welch.
Yeah.
Okay. Where can we get your book?
Nuria.
Okay.
You can go to our website as well and order, and we deliver.
All right.
Yeah.
Our
website being
www.zuritconsulting.com
or my personal website, elizabethnkukuu.com.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we love asking this question here. What's your stranger than fiction story? One story, something that happened in your life that uko sure aki huyo ni God ama it was by coincidence, or but uko sure ukipigia watu history watasema ni story ya jaba. Stranger than fiction.
I think it's just, and I can't go in detail.
Yeah.
My journey to the CEO of Hustler Fund. That one, everybody's like, kwani wewe ni aje? Yeah. It's, even for me at times, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Hope one day we can go into detail about it, but okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Personal mantra, a mantra that you keep telling yourself every day that gets you out of bed and keeps you going.
I better be better than yesterday.
I better be better than yesterday.
Yeah. I
love it. I better be better than yesterday. I think it's It's an amazing place to end this episode at. Thank you so much for coming through and for honoring our invite. We don't take it for granted, and just being very bold. Like I told you, a lot of government officials shy away from podcasts and such conversations. So thank you so much. Classmates, I hope this for you has been eye-opening. For me, I know for sure it has left me with more questions. Like I need to question myself and what I've believed about government services. And maybe I need to do more in terms of looking for information and educating myself, and hopefully just remove a bit of bias when it comes to government. And so I hope it has been the same for you. Thank you so much for joining us for this particular lecture. And I hope you enjoyed our lecturer for the day. And I hope you learned a lot as well on wealth creation. We're still filming at Longonot Place. Come book your staycation with an amazing space. Also, just keep supporting us and go to www.phillytv.com. Buy our latest film, Makosa Ni Yangu, and so many other amazing films in there. You will enjoy a true Kenyan entertainment experience. Thank you so much, and until next time.